Okay, so my yoga journey actually started in Australia, I would say. I was doing massage in Australia, working on getting a residency to live there permanently because that was my ultimate dream. And then I felt like I needed a change. I wasn't ready to dive into that fully, and I was missing something. And I was actually doing P90X exercises because that's all I had in a small outback town. And there was yoga. And I had been to yoga classes before, and I thought that they were really airy-fairy and that the teachers were crazy. And I like crazy, but they were a little too out there. And yet, all of a sudden, this idea of yoga teacher training came into my existence. And so I started Googling, and it's funny, because I was resistant to the school that kept popping up, and I wouldn't look at it because it was in Mexico, and I was like, Mexico's not exotic enough. And finally I clicked it, and I think I started crying within the first 5 minutes. It just felt like yes. And
that's how you know it's real.
yeah, and I think so. Even those experiences, you know, where you're like, oh, you feel the resistance, and then you keep going anyway, and then the true path shows itself, or the truth behind it shows itself, and you get to that like hell yes, and that's what it was. It was undeniable, and you'll learn. I go off in tangents quite easily. But that's been like a big theme, I guess, of trying to figure out, how do you know? How do you know? I'm definitely a feeling type person, and I like to feel my way through things, and yet I have a lot of anxiety. I have a lot of doubt, a lot of judgment, and so my feeling tone can get all mixed up in those other kinds of emotions. And so I found myself through my life really second guessing, and so that's been a big theme, starting with that yoga teacher training, of realizing, okay, maybe it just takes a bit of patience first off, and sitting in that uncomfortable, working through that resistance, and yeah, that hell yes will show itself. And I've learned that through the years of, okay, you know, I've had people be like, oh, just make up your mind or something, and I've learned to give myself some time to just be like, you know what, I don't feel certain one way or the other, so I'm just going to be with it for a while, or I'm going to just do whatever else I need to do, get my mind off it. And often when we're not trying so hard, the clarity comes in, and then those answers, those new missing pieces fall into place, and you will find your hell yes in majority of situations, unless you're just truly neutral. And so yeah, I would say that's the start of my yoga, at least becoming a teacher journey, and also the big theme in my life, which is trusting myself, and that I do know what I want, and it's getting clearer and clearer. And you'll have days where what you wanted yesterday isn't what you want today, and that's fine. It didn't mean that you didn't know yesterday. It just means that you are growing and evolving every single day, and so it's all good.
Yeah. Awesome. And I'm Logan. And so my journey to yoga teacher started, my yoga journey, I guess, in general, started around like 11, 12 years ago, when I started practicing in Calgary, and I was going to school. And I simply started it because I wanted a good workout. I was studying a lot and eating a lot of bad food, living in residence, and I needed kind of that little outlet. But then I started to realize that I was getting something more from the classes than I thought I was going to get. And it wasn't just a workout. I all of a sudden had this this clarity in my mind, this sense of like a little bit of peace. I got like little glimpses of these amazing little things that started showing up. So then I decided, it was in 2013, I decided to take my first yoga teacher training. And I did that while I was still working full time, because I was like, oh, you know, I love it. It's a passion of mine, but how can I ever make money from it? So I was very skeptical that I could ever make this hippie journey of mine make money, right? As we all do. Thinking about our purpose and our passion, right? It's like, yeah, that's what we love, but you can't make it a living. And that's very much where this whole living as your job comes into play. Is yes, you can make your passion, your purpose, your career, and what you want to get out of your life, right? So then after that, it really started to hit home for me how amazing this whole path of yoga was when I landed in Australia as well. Well, I guess Indonesia first a little bit. That's where, you know, I started teaching full time after my India 300-hour yoga teacher training. And then after that, everything was just flowed from one thing to the next. And I think it's very much, you have to be open to it. You can't be rigid and hang on to what you think the journey should look like for you. Because that journey, if you really let go and you really allow the flow, it's like that's when the universe is going to open you up to everything, and even more amazing things than you ever thought were possible for your life. And then it's like, wow, this is 10 times or 100 times better than I ever thought my yoga journey was going to be. And so that's what really excites me about teaching others is to unfold, you know, what they want in their lives, but being open and allowing their journey to unfold. And that's really exciting, because not only do they become happy and free, but you get to experience and witness someone else freeing themselves. And that's where like you really feel the magic. Yeah. So that would be definitely one of my biggest whys, is just sharing the experience I had and then allowing other people to move through their experience like that. So I guess that moves us on to our next thing. What we wanted to get out to everyone is like, okay, that's who Stacy is. This is who I am. This is Quinn, my son, little man. He's 5 months old. He's part of the magic for sure. But why we came together? So we both came together through synchronicity for sure. How I ended up back in Canada and what brought me into Stacy's awareness. And then we said yes.
Yeah, we felt something right from the start when we talked just on the phone. We hadn't even met yet. And
we ended up talking for like 2 hours. First conversation.
Yeah, and it was and we weren't able to unite at that moment, but I think we both knew that there was something there. And so that is the process of like, okay, witness, check, yeah, take note, and then let it go.
Yeah.
And sure enough, when you trust in the process, more information or more opportunities present themselves, and that's exactly what happened. Just pure synchronicity. Our lives aligned in a way that allowed us to cultivate this Living Yoga Institute idea and project, and it's been really powerful. And our mantra is first the process will teach us, and then we will teach the students. And so really, you know, if nothing else comes out of it, just going through this experience and working with each other, and every day having those little challenges, those little like squirmy moments where you're just like, oh, this is uncomfortable, and you stay in it anyway. And it's so nice to have you know, a partner in crime, kind of, especially in those sticky moments, who can hold space for you and act as a mirror and a reminder. So yeah, and from my own life leading up to this, and this is just another example of feeling so fulfilled with life. And I think when you are kind of saying yes to those challenges on a daily basis, every day feels like I'm good, you know? Like if nothing else happened tomorrow, I feel so fulfilled and full. And
Aligned.
yeah, and so that's kind of like uncovering the everyday magic is exactly that there's so much here for us. It doesn't, and I'm a big traveler, and I'm a big dreamer, fairy tale girl through and through, hopeless romantic, all of that nonsense.
And I'm the opposite.
Yeah. So, you know, I get what it is to get carried away, and but it doesn't always have to look like the fairy tale, but I really do feel like I am living a fairy tale, just not in like a movie picture. But this whole process, and it's just beginning, and that's the craziest part, is this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
And it feels so amazing and fantastic and incredibly uncomfortable and torturous all at the same time. And I think
super uncomfortable.
That's how you know you're in it. You know, that's how you know it's like, yeah, okay,
real.
Right path is it's uncomfortable, but it's like so juicy and good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best way to describe our relationship. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
it's like so juicy and full of all sorts of interesting things.
Yeah, definitely. And the nice part about it is we were just talking about this today. Every project, every creation starts on this super high note, and you have all this like crazy energy and everything, like the feel goods, right? The honeymoon stage, the lust, the love, the excitement. But that shit wears off. It does wear off. And so it takes a partnership where you hold each other accountable to staying committed to discovering your truth and your path, right? So that was probably one of the biggest things that we wanted to create, is that space for other people to have those facilitators that are that committed to everyone finding their truth, right? And through the sticky stuff, right? Through the gunk and the challenges and the stuff that like really starts to come up and show itself, it's ugly, rearing its ugly little head, right? It's like if we can move through that, the magic is on the other side. So that's really what we're committed to delivering through these programs, not only through our retreats, but through our teacher trainings that are yet to come. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of stickiness that comes with that, right? So I guess why we wanted to make this video is we wanted to introduce ourselves, what exactly Living Yoga Institute was, and then also just be real with the unfolding of this program and get the awareness out there.
And showing up, this is part of our sticky.
Yeah.
Is making these videos and speaking our truth to the world. We're very good at just going off in crazy tangents with each other and free flow.
Yeah.
But it's you know, when you talk about making a bigger impact on the world, you got to let the world see you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we were realizing is it's so great to be in this beautiful containment, but
how do we get out and get visible?
We need to share.
Yeah.
We need to share this energy that we're feeling between the two of us and in this project, and share it with the world. So we're blessed. We're blessed to live in a time where we have this technology. We have access to everyone who has internet, who has a phone.
Yeah.
And so why not take advantage of that? Why not use this really accessible platform to share our voice for the betterment? You know?
Yeah. So that leads us to our invitation to you. You know, will you join us? Will you come along? We don't know exactly how that looks like, but let's let it unfold. Let's start allowing our lives to unfold.
Yeah. And so it starts with this 14-day challenge.
Living is your job challenge.
Living is your
Living
job
is your job challenge.
Living is your job challenge. Hashtag. Yeah. So just show up. Show up every day.
30-second to 1-minute video, and this is how it starts, right? We let everything unfold from there.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll keep posting, we'll keep sharing, we'll keep being vulnerable through it all. Come on this journey with us.